Okay, Daf Hashavua, just one quick thing. Do a little lower than usual. Daf Yud Ches Amud Aleph. Daf Yud Ches Amud Aleph. We're by the two dots. Kar al Peh Lo Yatza. Kar al Peh Lo Yatza. The Mishnah says, if you read it by heart, Mikra Megillah, you're not Yotze. You got it? Okay, says the Gemara. Says the Gemara. Mino, and how do we know that if you read it by heart, you're not Yotze? Amar Rava. Rava says, Asi Zechira Schira. We learn Xer Shava of Schira Schira. Ksivach, it says over here, by Megillah, Vayamim Oil, Niskarim, Niskarim, that the Vayamim Oil these days, Niskarim, they were remembered, they were commemorated, Uksivasam, and it says over there, by Amalek, Sov Zo Zikaron B'Sefer, write this as a remembrance, B'Sefer and a Sefer. Malahalon, just like over there by Amalek, B'Sefer, it has to be from a Sefer. You can't do it by heart because it says B'Sefer. Afkan, so too over here by Megillah B'Sefer, you do it from a Sefer. It shouldn't be by heart. Ask the Gemara. Take a Gemara. Umimai dai zechira kriyui. How do you know that by Amalek, even though you have a Sefer, who says you have to read it out of the Sefer? Dilma Iyun Ba'alma. Maybe you just have to look in it and think to yourself that you want Amalek to be, you want Mechias Amalek. You want them to be forgotten and destroyed. So, Dilma Iyun Ba'alma. Who says you have to read it? And if you don't have to read it by Amalek and you're learning Gezer Shava, that means you wouldn't have to read it by Megillah. And says Gemara Lo Sakadayda. That can't enter your mind. Why? Because we know Ditanya. That's changed the chsiv to Ditanya. Zachar, it says by Amalek Zachar, you should remember. Yachab Alev, I might think when it says Zachar, to remember Amalek, that just means remember in your heart. That's not true, because Shu'am Lo Sishkach, because it says by Amalek Lo Sishkach, you shouldn't forget. Forgetting, Hari Shichas Alev, that's in your heart. That's not without talking. Forgetting, not forgetting Amalek, that's in your heart. Emor, I'm sorry, Shichas Alev Amar, that's talking about Shichas Alev. Forgetting in your heart, Homani Mekayim Zachar. So what does it mean when it says remember them? Not forgetting is in your heart. Remember them means Bapeh. So we see that you do have to do a Bapeh, and therefore by Megillah you also have to do a Bapeh. Zakti Mar further. Kra Tirgum Lo Yatza. If you read it in Targum, the Megillah Lo Yatza Echidami. How is this? Ilay Medechsivim Ikra Vikar Le Targum. If you're going to say that you open the Megillah is written in Hebrew, and you read it in Targum, Hainu Al Peh. That is by heart. So that for sure doesn't work. You can't read it by heart. Rather, it means that someone wrote the Megillah in Targum and you read it in Targum. And says the Mishnah that, what's the halacha in such a case? Lo yatzi and yotzi. Says the Gemara further. You're allowed to, if you're someone that speaks a foreign language, you could lane it in that foreign language. Ask the Gemara. But ask the Gemara, wait a second. You just said that if you read in any lashon, in any language, even Targum, lo yatsi and yatsa. Now you're saying that if you read it in French and you're someone from France, you're yotze. Says the Gemara, Rabbi Shmuel Damar Tavayu Balaz Yavani. When it says that you're yotze, that's talking about the Laz Yavani in Greek. Greek is a special language. Okay, as we learned earlier in the Masechta, Greek is a special language, and therefore in Greek you're going to be yotze. Now the Gemara says like this: Hey Chidami, what's this case? Rabbi Shmuel says Greek is going to be mutter. And that's pshat in the Mishnah. When it says in the Mishnah that you're allowed to read it in a foreign language, it means only Greek. If you wrote it in Hebrew and you read it in Greek, Hainu Al Peh, that for sure doesn't work because that's by heart. Amar Ravacha Amar Rabbi Lazar. Ravacha said in the name of Rabbi Lazar, Sheksuba Balaz Yavanis, you wrote, it was written in Greek. Now, once we mentioned something from Ravacha Amar Rabbi Lazar, we just are now mentioning a side point that he said, nothing to do with Megillah. Amar Ravacha Amar Rabbi Lazar, Minayin Shekar Kodesh Baruch Hu Yaakov El. How do we know that Kodesh Baruch Hu called Yaakov by the name El, mighty? Shenemar, like it says in the pasuk, Vayikra lo El Elohei Yisrael. Hashem called him El. Who called him that? Elohei Yisrael. Hashem. Hashem called Yaakov El. Now, the Isal, that's a very interesting way to read it. That's not the way we would have read it on our own. without this Gemara, we would have read it Vayikra lo kel Elokei Yisrael. Yaakov called the Mizbeach kel Elokei Yisrael after Hashem. If you're saying that Yaakov called the Mizbeach kel, Vayikra lo Yaakov miboile. It should say Vayikra lo Yaakov. Yaakov called it the Mizbeach. Ella Vayikra lo Yaakov kel. Must be, it means Vayikra lo, he called Yaakov kel. Because if it would have meant that he called him Mizbeach, then it should have been more specific. Frak the Gemara, Umikaru kel, Umikaru el, and who called Yaakov el? Elokei Yisrael, Hashem. Oh, now here comes the complicated Gemara. We need to notch up our calculations here. Okay, I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible, but it's going to be a little bit complicated. So if you could just stay with me. We're up to Meisvei. We're up to Meisvei right here. Meisvei, the first word of the line. What did we just say? We just said that when the Mishnah says that you can't read it in any language, you can't write and read the Megillah in any language, but it says you could read it in a foreign language. Rav and Shmuel explained that the foreign language was what? Greek. But any other language you can't. Frek the Gemara, Meisvei. I'll ask you a question from a Brisa. The Brisa says, Kara Giftis, if you read it in the language called Giftis, or Ivris, or Ilmis, or Modis, or Yavanis, or in Greek, Lo Yotzi and Ayotzi. So it says straight out, not like Rav and Shmuel, the way he explained our Mishnah, that if you read it in Yavanis, Lo Yotzi. Says the Mishnah, the Gemara answers, Holo Damya, Rav and Shmuel's case is not similar except to the next brisa. Don't compare it to this brisa, which says you can't read in Yavanis, because there's going to say another brisa that says that the only time you can't read it in Yavanis is if you don't understand Yavanis. But if you understand Yavanis, then you could read in Yavanis, and that's where Rav and Shmuel was talking about, and everything is good. Now, whatever kasha you're about to ask, and it says any language, right? Moshe, then the Gemara is going to ask that. Says Gemara, Halodam Ya'alaha. It's comparable to the second brisa. What does it say? Giftis la giftim. You're allowed to read it in Giftis for the people that are from Giftim. Ivris la Ivrin. Ilmis la Ilmim. The people in the Ilmim are allowed to read in Ilmis. Yavanim la Yavanim. Yavanim la Yavanim. The Yavanim can read it in Yavan. The Yavanim can read it in Yavanis. Yotza, they're Yotza. So therefore, that's what it means. That when Rav and Shmuel explained our Mishnah that you're allowed to read in Yavanis, it's somehow where you understand it. But if you don't understand it, of course, like the first brisa, you're not going to be Yotzi in even Yavanis. In fact, the Gemara, what Moshe Klavin was just asking with his eyes, Iachi Rav and Shmuel, I'm looking on Sisim Balaz Yavanis. So then why are they only saying Greek? Look at Cholaz. The brisa says any language, if you understand it, it's good. And if you don't understand it, it's not good. So why are you specifically, Rav and Shmuel, saying in our Mishnah that it's Yavanis? Why don't you answer our Mishnah by saying when you read it, if you understand it, if it's your language, then it's okay, a foreign language. But any lashon, when you don't understand it, it's not Yotze. Says the Gemara, backtrack. Elamasnisin kebraisa. The Mishnah and the Brisa are the same. The Mishnah and the Brisa agree with that fact that I just said. That if you understand the language, it works in any language. If you don't understand the language, it doesn't work in any language. It doesn't work. V'chi itmar to Rav and Shmuel said that their halacha of Yavanis, ba'alma. They said it in general. Nothing to do with the Mishnah and the Brisa. Itmar, it was stated, Rav and Shmuel, Damar Tabayu, they both say, Laz Yavani lakol kosher. That you're allowed to read the Megillah in Greek, lakol kosher. Okay? Correct the Gemara. At the end of the day, the Brisa says, Ba'akatani, it says in the Brisa, Yavanis li Yavanim. Only a Greek person can read in Greek. That works. So how could Rav and Shmuel argue on the Brisa, which is how we're saying in the Mishnah? How could they argue? They're Amoraim. Answers the Gemara. Inu to Amar, they hold like somebody that we learned way back on the Ches and Tes that holds that you're allowed to. Yavanis is a special language. Who's that person? Inu to Amar Rab Shimon Gamliel. They hold like Rab Shimon Gamliel. To Tanan, we learned in the Mishnah. Rab Shimon Omer. Af Sparim lo Etiru Shichtu Yavanis. You have to write Svarim in Yavanis, and therefore, because that has the kedusha, that has the chashivas of Ashuris, of Hebrew, and therefore you don't have to understand what you're saying. Like we learned on Daf Tesam and Beis, we learned the reason because it says right before the Mishnah, Amravo Rabbi Yochanan Lachav Shem Leil, Rabbi Yochanan Matan Shem Leil, Makra Yaftel Kim Liyafes Vishkom Bal Shem. It is a pasuk that says Dvarav Shel Yafes Yu Bal Shem. The language of Liyafes will be in Torah. So that's and the Rav and Shmuel hold like Rav Shimon Leil, which is halacha. Practically Gemara. So V'leimer Halacha Shimon Leil. Why are they saying specifically by Megillah? Why are they just saying you could write in Yavanis? Just say they hold like Rav Shimon Leil. Says the Gemara, Yamri Halacha Rav Shimon Leil. If they only said a general statement that the halacha is like Rav Shimon Leil, Ava Mina Hani Mili Shar Svarim. I would have thought that's only other Svarim in Tanakh. Aval Megillah Dechsibik Kiksavam. But Megillah has a special pasuk that says Kiksavam, that it says the word Kiksavam. So I might say that there you can't. Like the Gemara on Daf Tesam and Alf made a differentiation that there could be a differentiation by Megillah of Kiksavam. It says it has to be written in the language that it was originally written in, which was in Ashuris, which was in Hebrew. I might think you can't write in Yavanis. Kamash one comes along Rav and Shmuel to say that they hold like Rav Shmuel that even by Megillah you could. Says the Gemara. Okay, that was the hard Gemara. I hope it was simple enough. Now let's get to the bottom of the Gemara. Hopefully it'll go quick. Says the Gemara, 2 dots. V'aloi sheshama ashuris yatsa. If someone, a foreigner, someone from France, hears it in Hebrew, or someone from America hears it in Hebrew, sheshama ashuris yatsa is yatsa. Correct the Gemara, v'alo yadamai kamri. But he doesn't understand what he's saying. How could he be yotza? Answers the Gemara, what do you mean? That's not a problem. Just like women and Amei Haaretz, which in those times women didn't have the education that they have today, and then you had Amei Haaretz, the people that were ignorant, and they are Yotzei the Megillah. So too, even foreigners, if they don't understand the Megillah, they're Yotzei. Now, Maska Ravina now had a question. Wait a second. You're blaming the women and the Amei Haaretz to prove that even people who don't understand it, but you're a Talmid Chacham, you understand everything, and therefore you can't prove it from yourself. Because when you read the Megillah, you understand everything, and you're saying, the women and the Amei Haaretz don't understand it. Maskal Ravina Atu, I'm going to find you a pasuk that in the Megillah you're not going to understand either, and still you're Yotzei. You know why? Because the main thing in the Megillah is to pursue Nisa, to publicize the nace. So therefore, don't blame it on the women and the Amei Haaretz. Even you, a big Talmid Chacham, you yourself don't understand the Megillah and still you're Yotzei. Says Maskal Ravina Atu, is it so? Anan us achashtonim b'nei Ramachin. The mi yadinan. Do we know what it means when it says in the pasuk that Mordechai vayichto b'shem hamelech Achashverosh? Mordechai wrote in the name of Achashverosh v'yachto b'tavas hamelech. He sealed it with the seal of the king vayishlach svarim, and he quickly sent out new letters b'yad haratzim with the runners, basusim with the horses, rochvei arechesh achashtoranim. In the riders of the achashtoranim, says Ravina, he says, yeah, you know what this word means? B'nei Ramachim, you know what that means? Achashtonim b'nei Ramachim, do you have any idea? You have no idea what that means. So therefore, miyadina, do we know? Elo mitzvah kriya pursume nisa. The main mitzvah is the reading and pursume nisa, even if you don't understand it. Hachanami, so too, mitzvah's kriya, the mitzvah is the kriya pursume nisa, and the pursume nisa, and the announcing of the nace and letting out the nace. What does it mean? The Gemara didn't know, but it looks like Chabad.org did know. But the truth is that Rashi himself says it. If you look in the pasuk, Rashi does say that achashtoranim means a min gemalim, like a type of camel, and Aramachim means like royalty. So I don't think Rashi says that. I'm not sure, but he definitely says the camel. How did Rashi know it, and the Gemara and Amora didn't know it? Not sure. Okay. Says the Gemara. Now the Gemara is going to go to a couple of other psukim, very interesting, that we don't really know what it means, and we had to learn from people that weren't learned what the word means, because they knew other languages. Says the Gemara. Kara Sirugin Yatza. If you say the Megillah broken up, you're Yotze. Frekti Gemara, Allah, the other Abana, my Sirugin. It says that if you break it up, like let's say you're middle of reading the Megillah, and then you realize that you just didn't go out, you forgot your something outside. So you told the people to wait, you ran outside, you got your stuff, you came back in, and you're reading the Megillah. Then you remember that you heard your baby crying, so you went outside to get, and you keep on stopping. Lavi other Abana my Sirugin. They didn't know what it meant, Sirugin. Shamu la Amsa de Rebbe, until they heard the Amsa, the maid, the person that served in Rebbe's house, the Ka'amr Rabbanan, she was saying to the Rabbanan, Davi Aili Paski Paski. The Rabbanan kept on coming in different, like a little bit, and then more, and then a little bit more. They were coming in in different stoppages. They didn't all come in at once. Davi Aili Paski Paski. They were coming in at stops. Lebei Rebbe, to the house of Rebbe, and she said to them, Ad Masa Atem Nechnasim Sirugin Sirugin. Why do you? Until when are you going to stop coming in Sirugin Sirugin? And they said, Sirugin, Sirugin, we got it. That's shot in the Mishnah. Labi other Abana and my chalug lugos. They didn't know what it means. Chalug lugos. Rashi says it's a type of vegetable that's written in the Mishnah. They didn't know what it was. Shamuel Amsa de Rebbe again. They heard the Amsa, the maid of Rebbe, the Amr Leila Hugava. She was saying to a certain person that Kamevada Parchini. He was scattering. Parpachini, Rashi says, pickly, Laz. He was scattering some sort of something. How long are you going to scatter your chaluglugach? How long are you going to scatter your this minyarik, this type of vegetable that he was scattering? So they said, oh, what he's scattering, that's shot in the Mishnah. Okay. Lavi other Rabbanan, my salsla vi, what's this pasuk? Salsaleha usroy mimeka. They didn't know what it meant in the pasuk when it says in Mishlei salsaleha usroy mimeka. Meka and you'll be exalted, and it should be exalted. Shamu la'amsa de Rebbe. They heard the maid of Rebbe, Davi Amr. She was saying lahu gavra to a certain man that was curling his hair. Amrlay, she said to him, what? How long are you going to curl your hair? Stop it already. So therefore they knew that misalsal meant to curl the hair. Lavi other Abana, my hashech al Hashem Yehovcha. They didn't know what it meant in the pasuk in Tehillim. Throw on Hashem Yehovcha, you're something. You're Yehovcha, you're Yehov. Amar Rabbi Achana. And Rabbi Achana says, Zimnachana one time, I was traveling along with an Arab because the arena tuna, I was carrying a load. He said to me, Shkol Yahavdicha, take your load, Vishadi Agmaloi, and put it on my camel. So you see that Yahavcha means a load. So it says, throw your load on Hashem and he'll take care of you. Lavi Arbanan Mai, they didn't know what it means in the pasuk, Vite Tesia. B'matate, they didn't know what that meant in Yeshayahu, Hashmade, of destruction. Shamuel Amsa de Rebbe again. They heard the Amsa de Rebbe. We're ready to click off. Shamuel Amsa de Rebbe. They heard the maid of Rebbe. Dahavi Amr lechaberta. She was saying to her friend, Shikuli ta tesa. Take the broom, the tate besa, and broom and sweep the house. Beautiful. We got to the Nalmid.